Hey Eagles, it's Miss Rubman again. Welcome to our second lesson about our student expectations for life in a virtual world. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be a good digital citizen. We're also going to talk about the purpose of Google Meets and some expectations while you're there. And lastly, we're going to end with some digital communication tips. In order to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's watch this quick video on what it means to be a good digital citizen. Now that we've seen that video, why don't we pause this one and you can have a chat with your class about what are the things that you do to protect yourself while you're online. One of the easiest ways you can protect yourself online is to have a strong password. It's recommended that you change your password. In order to do that for CK Schools, log into ClassLink, click on the profile picture in the upper right, go to Settings, click on Recovery, and reset password. Right now, while we're working with digital learning, one of the most important times that we have together is during Google Meets. So that we know we have Google Meets every day of the week, we get to meet with 3 different classes, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and with our Academy on Wednesday. During this time, it's a great way to connect with your fellow classmates and to ask your teachers questions. No new learning happens during this time. Instead, the focus is on consistency, building those relationships, clarification, being able to ask questions, collaboration, working together as a team, and connecting with your whole class. While you're in your Google Meets, one of the best things that you can do to actively engage and learn the material is to participate. Virtual learning is really hard because there's many different ways that we could take ourselves out of the learning and to not engage. So when you're in those meets, be engaged. If you can, have your camera on. If you can't, make sure that you're writing in the chat and answering questions and connecting and making sure that you're a part of the activities and conversations. Also, come prepared with any questions that you might have for a teacher or other students about the learning you're doing. We want to ensure that everybody has the opportunity to learn during the Google Meets. So one of the easiest things that you can do to help any distractions from being a part of the meet is to make sure that you're keeping your mic muted or that you're engaging only in productive conversation in the chat. Otherwise, people could easily get distracted. So when you're in those meets, please make sure that you're staying focused and engaged and following the rules set forth by your teacher. Lastly, think about ways that you can be kind and respectful in meets. So be thoughtful in how you respond to others. Think about the ways that you interact with each other in those virtual meets and within your classes to your fellow students or to teachers, and just make sure that you're showing the Eagle spirit of being kind and respectful. One of the biggest changes that we've had to make in the virtual world is how we communicate with each other. One of the best ways that we can communicate right now is through email. But that's not how we usually communicated. So let's take a look at some tips for really successful ways to communicate with your teachers when you have questions. When you see this video, you'll notice that it talks about, a section of it talks about, meeting in person. A great way to kind of add to that would be to say like how you would meet like in a Google Meet or something in the virtual world, but otherwise I think it's pretty applicable. Remember when the days of attending class and being marked as present were so easy because you were either there or not? Things are a little bit different now in the virtual world. So to help your teachers out, one good way to show that you're present for the day is to attend a Google Meet. Another way would be to check into the Google Classroom and take a look at that weekly lesson plan and make sure that you're looking that over. Teachers can track that. Or also, if you communicate with your teachers via email, that's another great way to check in. So please make sure that you're checking in with your teachers so that you can be marked present for all the learning you're doing. So we know that communication is one of the best things that we can do to interact with our teachers. It helps us with our learning, it helps with being marked present, it helps us to stay engaged. So we've gone over a couple different things that we can do to become better communicators. So now that we've finished with this lesson, please take a moment to talk with the rest of your class about what you can do to communicate better with your teachers.